When clients hire me specifically because they know they've got some weird eating behaviors and they want to stop overeating, they want to lose weight and all of these things, one of the biggest things that scare them, that I hear often, like more often than you can imagine, especially they hear I'm a nutritionist, I'm an eating psychology coach. They're like, here's the thing, Audra, you seem that you can get me results, but I'm really scared to work with you because you don't understand. I love food. And this is a big deal because I hear this so often. And here's my answer to this. No, you don't. You actually don't. You think you love food, but you don't love food. If you want to hear more about this, I'm going to explain this whole scenario and actually the ways that you can start to fall in love with food in a really healthy and respectful and loving way. And if you're ready for that, I'm Audra Baker and you're in the right place to experience life-changing health and wellness and vitality, and yes, in the sexiest body you've ever had. You don't love food. You think you love food, but standing up in front of the fridge eating does not equal loving food. Sneaking food in the fridge or in the pantry while nobody's looking is not loving food. That is actually a really distorted relationship with food. The reason you think you love food is because you overeat food, and because you love it so much you overeat it, and that's your problem. But the problem is you don't love food enough. Think about it. If you're in a relationship, how would it feel if you just ignored that relationship? While you're sitting on your computer working, you give that, relationship a little bit of time, but you're gonna have it sit at the other corner of your desk. You'll sort of pay attention to it, but you're gonna stay focused on your work, right? Or you have this relationship with this other person and then you're sneaking behind the other person's back. It makes no sense, right? What you wanna do is actually figure out how to come into full and complete relationship with the food that you're eating. You want to really get into that space of like, yes, I'm gonna give this food all the attention on the planet. Now here's the thing, I wanna explain this. This is not your fault that you do this. What this is this is a disconnection from food. It's a disconnection from your body. It's a way that you have learned how to numb out. In this regard, you are using food like anybody uses any other substance that they're addicted to. The big five in terms of addiction: alcohol, drugs, food, sex, relationship, money. All five of these are ways in which we use these substances or experiences or people so that we don't feel whatever pain and suffering or anxiety is underneath it. And what we do is we have this original wound, this original pain that was probably created in childhood, where we didn't learn how to process this wound or process this trauma. And so it's so painful, the feelings and experiences of this. What we do is we learn how to numb it out. And that is what so many people do with food. They feel something, it's something they're not sure what to feel or how to feel it. Boom, let's go eat something. And it becomes unconscious, it becomes pre-conscious. It's why you end up in front of the fridge binging on food, totally mindless. And then the next thing you know, you kind of wake up out of this daze and you're upset at yourself. But I'm telling you, it's not your fault. It really isn't your fault. What you want to do now is you want to start to learn the skills to come into better relationship with food. And that's what I want to share with you. So you want to start to use the 5 sense reality with your meal. So that way you can actually begin to truly love food. You want to think about all of the 5 senses. So you want to think about what you're seeing, what you smell, what you taste, what you hear, and what you touch, okay? So let's start with what you see. This is why you want to sit at a table. That's why you want a beautiful plate. That's why you want beautiful silverware. You want your ambiance, if at all possible, you want it to have a pleasurable feel. You want it to have a sense of openness and spaciousness and pleasure. This sense of just, I can really relax into this ambiance, right? So if you use your kitchen table to junk up and put all sorts of storage stuff on it, and it's always a disaster and your bills are on there, and just you put just like it's just a place where everything goes, it's not going to give you the same effect if your space is actually spacious and clean and put together. Maybe you have candles burning or something of that sort, right? So that's what you would see in front of you. The other thing is when you put your food on a plate, like you can see your food and it should look beautiful. So even if you bought takeout, what if you got some plates, put the takeout on a plate and really just enjoyed the beauty of that food? So that's what you see. What about what you hear? This is a big one, and I know this is really hard for mamas with little kids, or you have families, or if you have a stressful relationship with a partner, or you're eating with somebody that creates anxiety for you, but you want to see if you can hear things or that put you in a state of relaxation. So maybe you put on music that makes you happy or feel good. I think the TV is a very, very bad idea. It's such a way to numb out for so many people. So now you're numbing out with TV and you're numbing out with food. So the next thing is, what do you feel? So this is a big deal, because to make food super pleasurable, sometimes it's fun to eat it with our hands. You know, how many of us have been shamed for picking up food and only use your fork? I eat with my hands all the time. The feeling, the texture of the food, placing it on my tongue, feeling it in my mouth, that is a big deal. And then the other two parts, of course, are what do you smell and what do you taste? And the two are very, very connected, especially directly into your primal brain. So when you take the time to slow down and smell your food and then taste your food, when you go out to eat with me and the meal comes, and even if we're in the middle of this giant important conversation, we immediately stop and we go, okay, time to stop. We are gonna give this the attention it deserves. And we stop and we put, you know, oh my God, how was that bite for you? Oh my God, let me tell you about this bite. It was so amazing. Da, 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 da. We do that for like 5 minutes or 10 minutes before we end up back into the leisurely conversation while we are leisurely and slowly eating. Do you feel the difference? That is called, oh, I love food. And whenever you can tie that into the 5 sense reality, and you can do this for breakfast, snacks, lunches, dinners, everything, when you can do it alone, when you can do this with people, this is a skill set that you practice over and over again, and it will change you. It will change your relationship to food. It will change your relationship to your own body, because now you're starting to trust in your body's knowing. And your body's knowing starts with your sensational body. Whew. If you liked this video, if you liked the information, awesome! Make sure to share it everywhere. Will you please go tell your friends about it? Will you go subscribe to my YouTube channel, for crying out loud? And if this is something that rings true to you, I have an entire Love It to Lose It system that includes eating psychology. And I'll leave the link below, and you can click on that, and the next time Love It to Lose It is open, you'll be the first to know. All right, I'm Audra. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Till next week. Bye.